morning to everyone. So, we're back on the couch. So, here we are again. It is November 26th, and I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to the topic today. It's going to be myself and my fabulous co host coming on. So, I have Miss Rajanta and Miss Sanella. So, good morning, ladies. How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Well, recovering from those holidays.
How about it? How big were y'all stomachs? I know my stomach is still kind of swole from eating all of that food, but how y'all two ladies doing and how were your meals?
So my meal was fabulous because I cooked it. I traveled to cook, but it was fabulous. And am I full? I'm not full because I think after all that cooking, I
Mm,
didn't really want. I did eat though this time. I
yeah.
did eat, but yeah. So I enjoyed myself. It was fabulous.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I hope it was fabulous for all of our listeners too. This time of the year could be pretty tough. And we're going to get into our topic today. And we're just going to highlight just a little bit of what we're going to be talking about. But we're also going to be looking forward to, I would like to talk about some serious news that's going on as well. So, just for all our listeners, our topic today is going to be about what is self care and holiday blues. This is important. And see, the three of us we're in this profession where we are helpers. So we decided to take on this vital content today versus having someone on. Yes, we love to talk to our guests, but we also want you all to know that we are here as well with some vital information that we can share with our listeners. So today I do want to touch on some news, especially ones that are really bothering me today. And, really for the last week, really, that these massive shootings and also the young lady that was also allegedly, we don't know what happened, but we do know something transpired. Her name is Shanquella Robinson, and she was even funeralized last Saturday, I believe. But I wonder if you ladies heard about the incident that occurred in Cabo, Mexico, and then what did you get about her story?
Yeah, I just really heard about it recently. I know they are talking about they renamed it Cabo Six, and I know that I hear that they're getting extradited right now. The everybody that was involved in it, supposedly friends. Hashtag fake friends. Hashtag keep the jealousy out of your circle. And just really be mindful who you allow in your circle and into your life. But it's just a tragic event. What happened to the young black woman?
Same here. My understanding of the story was very challenging for my heart. To hear, these young ladies go out there and you trust and you want friends and you feel like at that age you should have developed some type of friendships, and things happen, things go wrong, and unfortunately they didn't have, I guess, the tools, or neither did they want the tools to clarify or straighten out whatever issue they were having that negates them as friends. Those were not friends. I don't know exactly what happened. We were not there, so we can't speak for that.
Mhm.
But I do
Mhm.
know that those are not behaviors that friends should. I don't want friends like that.
Me either. Who would want anyone like that? But a little bit about her. She did graduate from Winston-Salem State University, and she ran her own beauty and hair braiding business. So, as her parents talked about her, they said, "Oh my goodness, she was just phenomenal."
Mm.
The name of her business was called Exquisite Kids. This, her establishment of her business, rather, was in her hometown of Charlotte, North Carolina. So this is where she was from as well. And again, as you said, these alleged or so-called fake friends, she's thinking, hey, I'm going on this trip to enjoy myself. And from what I understand from her parents, she loved to travel, but she was well put together. And I think that was a part of it, that whatever it was that they did not uh, whatever they thought about themselves, they really directed that towards her. Her father really spoke highly about how his daughter wasn't even one of those type of people that was, combative. So she wasn't even in mutual combat. I don't know if you all seen the clip, but it was disturbing. And it was just a moment where you could see she said no. She did not even want to engage in a fight. But it was sad because of what happened to her and the lies that they told the parents. I look at the audacity to come to someone's house, drop off their child's belongings, and it was like nothing. I just think the value of her life meant to them was absolutely nothing. So to her parents, we're so sorry for your loss. We hope that you find your healing. You heal whenever that time comes, because people usually say, oh, with time it heals. No, it's, when you get to that place, there is no time for when you should stop mourning. So, to your beautiful daughter, she will be missed in her community as well. I thought she was a fabulous person from what I saw so far, and how you all talk so highly of her. Now, the next one. Did you all hear about the shooting in the Chesapeake Walmart?
Yes.
Okay, that was scary as well. Now, we're talking about this person who actually wrote a death note. Did you all know about that?
I actually just read that this morning, so I guess everything is still developing.
Mm-hmm.
We think about these type of stories, we think of being white people,
Yeah.
So when I saw that, and I saw that he was an African American man, it really caught me off guard. And just to look in his eyes, his stare, and reading a manifesto about just all the people he wanted to kill. He outlined whoever he wanted to kill. He outlined, how they were bullying him, and he was, he had it. You never know what people are going through on a daily basis in the workplace. Even people you see, in the street. It was really, really unfortunate, really deep.
So that's my look at it as well. We never know what people are going through. That's why we should practice kindness, consideration, concern, empathy, all that stuff, because you never know what someone. When I see people in the street, I often speak, and my children used to say, "Ma, do you know them?" No, I don't have to know them.
Mm-hmm.
And coming from a place where people say, "Oh, you look so mean," look unapproachable. People talk to me all the time, all day. They just strike up a conversation with me. And so, again, you never know what people is going through. Your hello, your simple hello, your simple smile could brighten someone's day or change their thought of not wanting to be here anymore.
Absolutely.
And they take someone else's life. You just go and randomly shoot up a place. That's mental health.
Yes.
That's mental health all the way.
Yes, exactly. And just a little bit of what I found here. It said he was outlining his grievances about these people, against them, and his plan. And the issue was, I guess, according to him, the associates that worked there were mocking him. Not sure what they were saying, doing, but I believe it was his last day there, and he became upset, and he went back, and clearly we saw what happened. And these people lost their lives for what exactly, and why? Because you had grievances against them. Well, you know what? Is it none of his action is acceptable. My thing is, people talk about you all day, every day. Whatever they talk about you, just mind your business. Just go about your business, because it shouldn't make you or break you in any way. But as Rajanta said, behind those eyes, you never know what's ticking. So unfortunately, I'm so sorry those people lost their lives because of his thoughts. And then the next place was Club Q. That's another place where there was a mass shooting there as well. There was a hero, though. This hero and a few others jumped in, and they tackled and beat down the shooter, because at least 17 people were gunned down. and wounded. And then there was a life that was lost as well. So I don't even know what's going on these days, ladies. I don't know what's going on with the access to these weapons. Some people that have had mental health issues, they're able to go back and get these weapons, even if they turned in. Some family members have even called in and say, listen, this person have problems, come get the weapons. And it doesn't matter. They just still go out there and do their stuff. So did you all hear about Club Q?
Yes, and I think it was it targeted. Was it an LGBTQI nightclub in Colorado?
Yes.
Enough is enough. People have these grievances against different types of people, different populations, and you handle it accordingly. You don't go out and kill. If that's your issue, that's your issue. Your issue shouldn't be with me. It should be with yourself, getting yourself in line as to why you have a problem with me. People just want to be. People just want to live. Allow people to live and be in a peaceful manner.
Look at the climate though we're living in right now. We always knew that there were issues in every community, right? Black and brown community, white community, but the climate has changed drastically because honestly, I don't want 100% blame it on 45, but I feel that 45 changed a lot of the climate on guns and how you can go about hurting people and don't have a consequence behind it, or there's an excuse. The behaviors is just very mind-boggling. I try to figure out, what are you thinking? Why would you do this? What is making you go there that you get the nerve to get up and say, well, I'm going to go out here and take a whole bunch of people out? I'm trying to figure out that thought process.
And I'm not totally against guns. I just want to be clear. I'm against guns getting into the wrong people's hands. I'm for guns protecting yourself, protecting your family, protecting your property. But once it gets into the wrong hands, or people that are unstable, or you leaving the gun out unlocked.
Exactly. Well, Rajanta, she'll be right back with us. But I do agree with her. I'm not totally against guns either, but you need to protect yourselves. But Rajanta, go ahead and finish your statement. You froze a little bit there.
It's just, guns have been around. If we have people and kinfolk in the South, right, they believe the gun on the mantle and everybody knew not to touch it. Right? But I don't know whether it's just getting into the wrong hands. I don't know whether it's people with mental illness just getting a hold to it, or just people just not, being in the right mind state, having access to it, that's making it, just terribly, terribly wrong.
Yes.
It's unfortunate. It is. And it disturbs me every time I hear about a shooting here or there. Because it's like, I can't go to the store. I can't even go to the Walmart. I can't even go to school or church because it's more and more prevalent as to where it's happening, where it's going on. So
yes.
It's scary.
Do you two feel that those that are targeting vulnerable communities, like places where you wouldn't be as so alert? Because if you think about, let's take it back to Dylan Roof, okay? We're talking about people that were in their church, welcomed him in, thought they were helping him, and look what happened. That was very, no one will be on guard like that because you're inside of a church. So you're not going to feel like, oh, I have to have a weapon on me or I have to feel this way. No, he knew exactly what he was doing. And I really believe a lot of the other people as well, they know exactly why they're targeting these particular group of peoples. What do you two ladies think about that?
I definitely agree with that. Who would have a gun with them at church? In a Walmart, people don't really, in the nightclub, you're there to have a good time. It is just out of hand. We just got to really stay vigilant. These are times we just stay vigilant and we just be aware of our surroundings and just, stay prayed up and just know what's going on around you.
Yes, I also agree. Know your surroundings as much as you can, but again, as you said, your guards would be down if you're in a break room, at work, when, you're having your staff meeting or whatever type of meeting you guys are having there, whether you're just socializing, you're in the break room. At church, you're in there, you're praising God or whoever you choose to worship, whoever your higher power is, you're not looking or expecting that. again, the club. You go in there to enjoy yourself. These are all locations where you would have your guard down, looking to receive, to have fun, enjoy. And these, you wouldn't expect that. But again, it all tied back down to mental health. It's got to be
Mm-hmm.
something really wrong if you can do something like that. And that's
Mm-hmm.
where we are charged as a people to get in and try to offer help, support, prayer, love, comfort as much as we can. But then there's the other side. Sometimes they don't show any signs and they just click. They just
Mhm.
snap,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
because they're holding in so much. Like
Yes.
I didn't even hear the
Mm-hmm.
part about the Walmart guy feeling that he had been bullied, being bullied
Mm-hmm.
at his job. You never know what the other side. We only get one side most times.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
They're being
So
drug
Yes.
out, when they're being drug out by the police. That's the
yes.
story.
That's
That's the
that's it.
picture. We don't see beforehand what happened, what led up, and not to
hmm
say
Not to
just
just exactly,
you
not
know.
justifying any type of murder, any type of taking someone's life. We don't have the right to do that for
Mm-hmm.
no reason at all. And it's yet still it happens. All we can do, like Rajonta said, stay vigilant in what we're trying to do to support people who are in need.
Exactly, exactly. And I just want to turn to a couple of our comments and those that are watching and listening to us. So we
Mhm.
have Diana. She said she agreed with a lot of what we said. And she said, I always say you never know what people are going through. There could be one small thing to take them over the edge. Exactly what you said, Sanello. One thing can
Mhm.
take you over the edge, and then bang, that's it. Also the three football players, if you go back to that,
Hmm.
according to his side of the story, he was being bullied, so
Mhm.
therefore he must have felt like he was backed into a corner. Not saying he was right, he must have felt that way enough for him to go back and did what he did. And I'm sorry for their losses as well, because it's a loss on both sides when you really think
Yes.
about it. Okay, so if the person ends up taking their life or the person gets locked up for it, it is a loss to the families on both sides. It really is. So it's a tremendous loss. And then AC says, you must continue to live, but be watchful. So instead of closing ourselves in, we
Yeah.
just need to be more diligent and observant about what is going on. And AC also said, as my mother would say, these are the times we are living in. Pray. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
100%
So
agree.
yes, 100%. So today, with saying all that we're saying right now, it is important that we begin to discuss the topic of self-care, because self-care now is what is needed for things such as this that is going on. So this is the content of our show today, is about self-care. So what is self-care? So let's try to define that for those that are listening to us today. What would we say self-care? How will we define it?
For me, I have many ways that I practice self care, and it took a long time for me to get to this point. My number one self care is saying no. Not taking on too much, being able to say I cannot do this and assert myself and stand 10 toes down in it. No, I don't know. No. And my yes is yes, my no is gonna be no. My family, has an issue with it now, but I mean, I used to be a yes person. So, and that yes person caused me to become extremely depressed. Just being able to kind of pull myself all 10, 20 different directions. So, my number one self care is saying no and being okay with it and not kind of feeling guilty about it. Putting me first is my number one.
Exactly. So self-care for me is putting me first. Because I am a helper by nature, um, a helper by faith, that's what I do. That's just the norm for me. But we get so caught up in helping others, we not purposely, but we wind up neglecting ourselves. So for me, self care is putting me first, and that is that it's not challenging now, but for many years, like Vajanta, putting me first, it just doesn't. It didn't work for me because I would feel like if I put me first, I'm leaving someone else out. And
Yes.
those person I would leave out would more than likely be, I would feel that I left out my husband, my children. So no, they had to come first. But I realized that if I put me first, then when I rise, they're gonna rise too.
That's
And
right.
everybody, they're gonna put themselves, they'll learn to put themselves first, know what their strengths are, know what their challenges are, what they will and will not tolerate.
That's right.
So I have to put me first. And I
And
love that. First it was a little, to me, a little like cocky, like, who do you think you are? No, I'm going to put me first.
yes.
And I love it. I didn't think that I would ever, I never wanted that. I wanted to help other people.
But does it make you
Yeah,
feel selfish? You know how
at
sometimes
first,
it's kind of seen as being selfish when you put yourself first?
call it whatever you want. I call it loving me because but I would, initially, I did think it was selfish for me. I had a hard time going in the store and buying myself something, even if it was
Mhm.
a need, before I would do those children or whatever. No, today I'm going to go for me first. And if by chance I see something for you,
I might be.
that I like, I will get it for you. But I'm going to be first at all times. And it doesn't feel selfish anymore. So it takes practice, I would say. A lot of practice.
I agree. It takes a lot of practice. I had to get to that place too, learning how to say no. And I still have a hard time. If I'm gonna be really candid here, I
Yeah.
have a hard time. So I still have, and I'm getting to that place of putting me first. Taking care of me, doing what I need to do for me. We take care of everybody, just like you just said. Women, we wear multiple hats. So that means we are always on the move, but we have to know when to shut down and say, no, it's about me before we get to a place of cracking.
Mm,
Okay. So we do crack, and
Yeah.
especially Black women, we do crack.
I
So
crack.
everybody that know us, we
Yes.
listen, we crack. So we got to be able to say to ourselves, and this is a word everybody need to know: boundaries.
Boundaries.
Yes.
Set
Boundaries.
boundaries for yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. You say to yourself, look at yourself in the mirror, say, girl, say the word no, okay? And you're gonna be all right. You're gonna go through these mixed feelings, but say no. But put yourself first. Do your hair, relax, get a massage, do something that you enjoy to do, right? Go
Yes.
ahead, Sonata.
So take vacations. This was a perfect topic for me because I'm loving this, and it's new for me too. Again, like I said, coming from a background where I'm always taking care of others, but vacations. Last year I did my first solo vacation for self care. It came at a very much well needed time. I probably took 2, 3 vacations. That's not the norm for me. So alone, you know. What else did I do? Shopping. I like shopping, that type of stuff. Just relaxing. Aromatherapy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
positive affirmations. I'm big on positive affirmations. That's self care for me. Positive affirmations, speaking in life into myself. So,
Absolutely.
Yes,
And
yes,
people that
exactly.
are afraid to fly, because I know we still have people who are afraid to fly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my mother, being one of those people. Take a walk. Take a walk, a nice brisk day. Just becoming one with the earth, breathing the air.
hmm
Music is a big thing I do. We have
yes,
Alexa. I listen to music. It makes me happy, and music
Yes.
is actually can change your mood. It can make you rowdy depending on what type of music you listen to, or it can kind of make you
Mm-hmm.
calm. It can set the tone for like a nice romantic evening. So music is a definite a go-to.
yes,
Comedies is something I
yes,
always do, especially when I'm feeling sad. And good food. Good
yes,
food.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I do take myself out to dinner. And I do sneak out and get stuff to eat. I do.
That's
yes,
right.
And throw that
That's right.
in the garbage before I get in the house. So no,
Uh-huh.
I do that a lot too. But it's important. I'm telling you, before you get to the stage where you're going to crack, because
yes,
Yes.
it happens. That pressure starts to build up, and you need to release. And we
Mm-hmm.
don't have time to crack. You get
Mm-hmm.
we
Mm-hmm.
don't have
mm-hmm.
time to crack. We don't have time to go inpatient, residential, because we got too much to do. Who gonna take your kids? Who gonna cook the dinner? Who gonna clean the house? Who gonna go to work and do these bills? So
how about it? How about that? But everything you're saying is correct. Who's going to do it when you snap? Okay.
Exactly.
So we got to work harder at saying no, setting boundaries for ourselves. And you know, we got to, when I tell you there's an influx of comments here, and we're going to get to our followers here and their definition and how they define self-care. But with saying that, the technical term, okay, if we were to define it in the technical way, it is self-care is defining as the ability to refill, refuel. Simple as that. Refill, refuel. Keep those things in mind. I'm a big believer, especially when I'm working with clients, about mind, body, and spirit. You have to have that in alignment. When one is out of whack, all of it is. You can't have one without the other two. You can't. So when you think about self-care, what does my mind feel like? So that's your mental health part of it. What is my mind feeling like? What is my body? This is your physical part of you. And spiritually is that spirit inside of you, your energy. What is going on there? Is your energy down? Do you feel burnt out? You feel that. And all of that can take you out of alignment. So what is our task today? Is to get you to understand what that looks like. So the next question, ladies, is what is compassionate fatigue, you think? What is that?
I would say just being tired of caring.
Exactly.
Just tired. Like, okay, I don't care for you. There's nothing left for me. It's nothing than me. I'm empty. And now I can't even get up off the couch. Literally. Because I'm drained. You know?
Yeah.
Right. Which could lead to canceled appointments.
Yes.
With clients. It could lead to depression, severe depression, a lot of things.
Medical illnesses.
Yes.
Stress.
Yes, medical illnesses. And that's what it can turn into. What I'm going to turn to is some of the comments. I would love to read some of our comments here so you can hear what they said about self-care before we move even further. For Michelle, one of our guests that was on our show, she said, for me, it's checking out and taking care of me. Diana said, saying no. That's good. It is good. And then Akisia, if I've said your name wrong, I'm so sorry. It says no is a complete sentence and dose not require, and it doesn't require an explanation. Yes. Okay, I agree with that. Absolutely, it does not. Doing what makes you feel good. Okay. And then doing something for yourself is not being selfish. Right. So these comments are wonderful. If you all realize that, then these women and men, if they're following us this morning, they're telling us, look, we practice this, so keep doing it. So they're encouraging you also to keep moving. Sometimes we don't want to say no, but we need to because of the stress. It can build up. And I'm going to go to AC, who said it's her birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Okay. Happy birthday. And also, words of wisdom is to, saying no. Saying no comes with aging and maturing. Yes. No means no. It gives me peace. So AC, thank you for that words of wisdom, because 65, we got to listen to that. Okay.
Birthday girl. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. So we appreciate that. So those of you that are practicing self-care, thank you for giving us your definition of self-care. So as we move forward, what is wellness? So think of that word. What is wellness? How would we define wellness? How would you define that? Wellness.
just the overall being able to be productive, being able to be successful in your family, being able to be successful in your work life, in your home life, just the overall wellness within you. Um,
Hmm.
that's how I
Hmm.
define wellness.
I would define wellness as the ability to be able to take care of your, again, your mind, body, and soul. Those three main areas, because if one is lacking, it's going to take away from the other, and so forth. So, to me, I take a holistic look at it that way and
Hmm.
try to make sure I'm touching each of those areas: mind,
Absolutely.
Okay.
body, and soul.
Mind, body, and soul.
Spirit,
Ditto. I
yeah.
agree. Yes. So let's give it the technical definition here. Wellness is a process through which people not only strive for health, but living life fully. And it's a necessity for those in the helping profession. So, one, two, three, that's here. We're in
Mhm.
the helping profession, but those that are listening to us as well, whatever capacity you're helping in, remember, your wellness is important. You cannot help someone else if you're broken down. Okay? Impossible. You have to love number one, which is you. And then you can show that energy to others, love, compassion, support, all of those things. So if you're not checked in these areas, you honestly cannot be good for anyone else.
Absolutely, and it can actually cause damage because hurt people, So
That's
then
right.
it just continues. It continues on, and it gets passed down to
Hmm.
your children, to your family, to your friends, to your coworkers, just people you interact with. So it's definitely can be really damaging.
Very, very. So there are, I would like to discuss 8 dimensions. This was very, when I was doing my research, I found this and I thought this was very intriguing to talk about. So here are the 8 dimensions to wellness: social, contributing to and maintaining healthy relationships. Yes, healthy relationships, not unhealthy, healthy. So what is the word that go with that? Boundaries.
Boundaries.
Checking people out, saying no. We can say no to our families too. We
Mhm.
really can.
It's
And we
hard.
can,
You know,
yes,
it's
it's
hard.
hard.
Difficulty just comes, especially with our elders, because we're raised
Yes,
a type of way. They have to be
yes,
respectful. You have to do this. You have to take. Listen, the struggle's real.
yes. The struggle is real. It is so real because they are our family. And we say we have a natural loyalty default in
Yes.
us. So
Yes.
we would say, "Oh, I'm going to help them," realizing that we are burning. We're
Yes.
burning out little
Yes.
by little every day because we're saying yes. So please set a boundary. You can love your family, continue to love them. You can love them even from a distance, but you can also say, "I love me," and make the choice of saying yes or no. Remember, you have the option. Emotional, understanding your own feelings, understand you. What is my feeling like? Why am I maybe emotionally off? What do I do with that? When I am not on cue, when I feel like I'm off. Physically, this is you taking care of your body. Please go to the doctor.
Hmm.
You're not your own physician.
It's a big one.
Please go. Yeah, that's a big one, right? How many people in our black and brown community don't go to the doctor as they should?
Many,
Many people,
and I
they
don't know why
go
they go
when
to.
there's an issue. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No.
They go when there's an issue, you
Yes.
know, and
Yeah.
that's something that we need to instill in our children from young so that they will grow up and continue to go and seek treatment. Just your regular physical will keep
Yes.
you on top of so many things.
Yes.
The screenings that we're supposed to have, as women, as
Yes.
children, certain immunizations, even though, there's something to be said about the immunizations. But in any event, they still need to be taught to take care of themselves so they can grow up and be adults who also take care of themselves.
Yeah, and I know it might go
Mhm.
back to the distrust that we had and we were taught and things we experienced growing
Mhm.
up,
Yes.
especially those who came up from the South, Tuskegee experiments, all types of things.
Right.
But if you don't feel comfortable, there are black and brown doctors as well now, so
Yeah.
there's no excuse. Go to doctors.
Mhm.
Hmm.
That's right. There's no excuse. Intellect. So intellectually expand your mind. Knowledge is power.
Yes.
We all don't know everything. That's impossible.
That's right.
So please, our elders, they know a lot. Go talk to them. They can give you some things that you would never think you have thought of. um Education is every day. At least I know for me, I learn from people around me. So if I'm asking you something, I may be even observing you because I'm trying to learn something from you. You may not even know why I'm maybe observing, but this is why, because it's something about your energy, whatever you're giving off, I want to learn from you. So I do that. So intellectually, how important is that we should learn something from people every day.
And also, I would add to that, don't be afraid to ask questions. You
Mhm.
can ask questions. You can also say, I don't know. You could
Yes.
also say, I will find out,
Yes.
but don't be afraid to ask questions because that's the only way you will get the answer you're looking for. And if
Yes.
you're not comfortable with that answer that you have received, move on and get some more, you know, information, gather some more information to see if it can get you what you're looking for.
Absolutely. And I want to say that I learned from both of you ladies. A lot of my girlfriends and family members I learned from. I ask questions I learned from. I just want to say with you, Doctor, how I met you, and I've been learning ever since. I learned from you, Miss Anella. You go to grad school. So I've learned from each and every one of you. And I mean, I was just like, I don't have nothing to lose. Let me go up to these ladies and just see what it's about. Right.
Mhm.
And that's just what it was. It's been nothing but great things from then on. So I appreciate
Yes. Yes, and you took a chance, and you see what your chances got you to.
it.
This
Yes.
is what this is how it happens.
Yes.
What you just said, I took a chance. What's the worst that can happen? So that's what everything. What if I ask this question? No question is a dumb question.
Hmm.
Okay, let's make that very clear. No question is a dumb question, so ask it because this is you showing your intellect by asking the question, and it's simple as that. Spiritual care, whatever your higher being is, please make that connection. Whatever it is, this keeps your spirit intact. So, think about that. That's another dimension that was mentioned, vocational. So, participating in meaningful and rewarding work. So, that can simply be volunteering.
Yes.
Give back. It only take a couple of hours out of your day. Give back. Those people that you gave back to, they'll appreciate it. They
Very
will. Financial, just learning how to be financially sound. We all don't have the answers, so people around us, we can get that information from. And I know not having can be very stressful. Okay. I'm not sure about how you ladies grew up, but I can tell you, um, I didn't have a whole lot growing up, but I learned.
yes.
Even the little bit I had, I appreciated.
Same. Ditto here. I mean, I didn't have much growing up. But I think that through that, it kind of really helped me build character. It also kind of
Mhm.
pushed me to want to have a little more when I got older. And then once I had kids, it really pushed me to just want them to have a little bit. But I look back on
Mhm.
it and I'm like, wow, I wish they would know the different lessons I've learned from the result. I mean, not having, because I learned a lot. I'm resilient and I know how to make lemonade out of lemons. You
That's
know?
right.
Well, um, well, that could go a lot of different ways as well, because I will say for myself, maybe I didn't have much, but I thought I did. Yeah, I felt like I did. And so, my mom worked to make sure that I had, I worked to make sure that my children have, and I want them to go do more than I do. So when I say it could go a different way, as some people have nothing or had nothing, and then they just get stuck right there. No,
Mhm.
my mother went and she did what she did to make a future for us. I feel, and she would agree, that I did better than her. I gave my children the values that she's instilled in me, as well as my own values. I developed my own values that I wanted my children to have, and I gave it to them. And hopefully they're passing it down to their children, and also creating their own values.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Agreed. And environmental is the last one, and that is the interaction between the natural and built environment. So environmental influences in or out the house. They're around us every day, all day. So it's what you take in and
Yes,
what you filter and what you put back out into the world.
yeah.
So that's a part of, the environment.
definitely. And I think though some environmental factors can lead on to mental health issues, addictions, and I'm just thinking about just the different traumas that we can experience from our environments,
Yeah.
whether
Yes.
it's familial environments, out in the streets. There's just a lot of different factors that go into that and that influence us. To the people we become as we get older.
Exactly. So Isata, one of our persons that's watching, or one of our listeners, she defined her wellness as being and feeling good mentally, physically, and spiritually. Not perfection, rather being at peace with yourself and being true to who you are, which in turn will allow you to serve with a full cup.
Wow,
Hmm.
I'm full from
Love
that.
it.
It's very good.
Okay.
Yes, I
I
love
love
it.
that. I love that. Thank you, Isata. Yeah, that was spot on. I don't know, ladies, that was definitely spot on what that feels like. What does wellness? So she really defined that one really, really well. Um, Now when we're thinking about other parts of our mental health, I wanted to move into the holiday blues because that's real. People experience this as soon as the holiday comes, all of a sudden their mood shifts.
Mhm.
So, have you all seen someone that actually has gone through it? And the technical term for holiday blues is called holiday induced depression. That's
Yes.
the technical term for it.
I would like to say that that is me. Just because holidays are great. You see your family, you see your friends, but it can also be a stressful time as well. During the holidays, we think about those that we've lost along the way. We think about the cleanup after the holidays. Maybe if you're overspending, getting that in order. So I just think that holidays are wonderful. We can get the fellowship with our family, but it can be stressful as well, especially things
Mhm.
like conflicts we may have with our family, different traumas we may have experienced from family. So it's just the aftermath, the arguments at the table, and just different things. The card playing, we play spades in my house, you know. But it could be a wonderful thing, but it can also be very stressful as well. I had a wonderful holiday as well. So, it was good this holiday. Fellowshipping, and my stepson flew up from Atlanta. So he cooked the Thanksgiving meal. So it was good. It was good.
That's good.
So for me, holiday blues as well is me too, Rick Johnson. It's me too. But I just came back from spending a wonderful week with my son, and I really enjoyed myself. But I can clearly tell you it was a little challenging for me because of the recent loss of my mom, and this being our favorite time of the year, and just not wanting to put a damper on the situation. It's also my favorite time of the year. So it was a little challenging, but I had to change my mindset of how was I going to enjoy this uh, time spent with my son? Was I going to harp on the fact that my mom is not here? And was I just going to take care of myself? And I decided to take care of myself, change my mood. Before I even got there, I went by myself. I flew, and I had a nice flight, short flight, and I really enjoyed myself. But it was very important for me to look at it as self care for me, as opposed to I'm just going to see my son, or I'm
Mhm.
just taking a flight or whatever. I just wanted to look at it. I had to change it because I was starting to feel down about it, and I didn't want to be that way. So it's very important that we make sure that we're in tune with our feelings and our emotions so that we will notice when we're slipping that way. Because you can definitely feel it.
Yes.
You can
Yeah.
definitely feel it. You will feel your attitudes changing, your short tempered or short responses with people, agitated, annoyed. There's a whole lot of different emotions. Sad, tearful,
Yeah, so definitely being aware of those
angry. You can even get angry throughout all
triggers.
this. Resentful, a whole lot of emotions. So being aware of where you are emotionally will help you with your holiday blues because now you know how to tackle it. You
Absolutely.
know.
Exactly. That's very true. So the holiday blues, I could share that with the both of you too. Losses are very big, and how you deal with it. I lost my mom early on in my life, so about 12 years old. So um those holidays were pretty much not ruined, but my family did what they could. So my brother and I can kind of feel like things were normal for us. And then my favorite holiday is Thanksgiving because my entire family will get together and it's a lot of us. But when my grandmother passed away, my aunt continued to move forward with that. And the COVID kind of changed it. So that's the other thing, which can be kind of depressing for a lot of us as family members. We talk about that, like, okay, what are we going to do? Are we going to go down south? So it's like a part of us is a void there. So you're right. You do feel it. You feel it because you miss the connection. You feel it because you're wondering and thinking, what can we do? How can we get back together? Or are we going to get back together? So you begin to have all of these questions in your head, and then you can become depressed. Just
Yes.
like you said, Sanella, very depressed about it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think another good thing is just knowing that it's okay to create our own traditions. We can create our own traditions with what we have
Yeah.
with our individual families, and maybe start something else. Start another tradition that we want to pass down to our children and our families as well. So it's
Yeah.
okay. It is okay to start other traditions. It's okay to kind of be who you are. It's okay to do things the way you want to do things with your own family as well. So we have to definitely be mindful of that. We ate Wednesday night, because Thursday I wanted to go to sleep. I'm just gonna be honest. We ate Thursday night. Had our meal was done Tuesday, so we actually ate Tuesday night. We gathered up Wednesday night. Thursday was my day of rest. Okay, so
Hmm.
you know, it was what it was, and I enjoyed. We enjoyed. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
um,
We So, ladies, before we move on, we have another comment here, and I do think we should comment on this one. Rachel, she said, I've experienced trauma and I'm taking small steps and working on self. That's right. Very good.
Mhm.
Very, very good. And we are very happy to hear that because helping is what we do. And it's very important that you take care of yourself and reach out to therapists if you can find them. And I know it's a very small pool of Black therapists out there. I'm one of them. We have two that's on here, and we're here for you. So, um, you can find us. I know I'm on Psychology Today. Sanella, what are you on exactly to be
So
reached?
right now I'm working on getting on Psychology Today. It's
Okay,
my bad. They've been
all right.
asked to provide my profile, but I'm currently just working with children and adults for an agency at this time. But I will be
Mhm.
getting my profile updated for Psychology Today.
yes,
Wonderful.
yes, I'm actually sort of kind of on Psychology Today, but I'm actually a contract therapist with the as an independent contractor with the agency right now, online virtual health facility. But I am launching
Mhm.
January, so definitely follow
Wonderful.
me. My specialty, and actually, I just want to take time to talk about our specialty and how important it is to you find someone in the specialty depending on what type of issue you may have. So I'm a licensed clinical alcohol and drug counselor. So my specialty is drug and alcohol addictions and addictions in general. I have treated someone with a sex addiction. I've treated someone with a gambling addiction. So my specialty is addiction. So if you have an issue with addiction, you would kind of reach out to someone that's certified in that field. Just like, for instance, a general practitioner of a doctor, right? You wouldn't go to a gynecologist for that. You know, if you're having issues, a lady, you would go to a gynecologist. If you have a heart issue, you would go to a cardiologist. So with therapists in the field, we all specialize in different types of things. So I would definitely encourage you to go someone that specializes in the particular issue that you might be having.
Okay. I am a licensed associate marriage and family therapist. I do have a PhD, so I am Dr. April Piercy. Although I have Dr. Diamond up there, but so you know my name. So when you find me on Psychology Today, this is who you will be looking for. I am also through an agency as well, the Council for Relationships. You can find me there. What do I do and who do I work with? Well, I work with everyone. I work with couples, I work with families, I also work with individuals. My motto is that help you go on a healing journey. This is what I do with you. I'm going to walk you through that. It makes more sense as I begin to work with more African American clients where you want to move to, what we relate to. We don't necessarily relate to the word therapy. We relate to healing. That's what we learn as we move through our life, and all of our people before us, what they teach us. So I utilize and tap back into what did I learn? Why is healing important? So when you reach out to me, and I would love to help you, we are going to go on a healing journey, your journey, and I'm going to help you get there. So that's pretty much what I do in a nutshell.
Okay. So I am a licensed professional counselor as well as a substance abuse counselor as well, licensed substance abuse counselor, drug and alcohol. And I pretty much work with inner city youth. I love working in my community. I love working with my people, with my children. I call them my children. I also work with adults, but my specialty is children with behavioral issues. I've worked with autistic children, mainly a lot of mental health. But the children that I enjoy working with most are children with behavioral issues because I can remember it so clearly and vividly. And I also remember the time when I felt that I needed a therapist or a counselor. There was no one there who understood. Was no one there like me, you know. And also, as Rajanta said, be selective about your therapist. I have a thing that I say, you meet with a therapist 3 times, the max. If there is no bond or connection there, please move on. Yeah. It doesn't take too many sessions to determine whether there's going to be a connection, because you need to be connected with your therapist. That's about it.
And don't be intimidated. Don't be intimidated about breaking up with your therapist. Okay.
Right.
You are paying that. That's the bill that you are paying, your copay, whether it's full pay. Don't be intimidated. If you're not getting what you need, you're not getting your needs met, basically bow out. You can do that with a letter, with an email.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I've done that as well. So.
Yes. And you can do it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing personal. You just have to find who fits you. Chances are, everyone you meet, even if they're African American, even if they are from the brown community, it doesn't matter. If they don't fit with you, make the choice to say, thank you so much for your time, but this helping relationship doesn't work. So if you use the word helping relationship, that therapist will understand that. And I hope that they are professional enough to not take it personal. I have had people move on. It's not personal. It's not personal. I did what I could. And sometimes it just doesn't work. It can be both sides. So do what you're getting advised to do today on how to move towards your healing process. And so we're almost at the end of our show, but I do want to talk about before we end, ladies, is what tools are we going to give our listeners when it comes to self-care and holiday blues? What tools?
I would just want to say limit your triggers. Limit your triggers for the holidays. If you know you can't afford whatever's in Nordstrom, don't go in there. If shopping is a trigger, don't. Okay? I'm not trying to keep up with the Joneses. I'll meet them on my way back. Okay? I can't do it. Also, set boundaries. Very important. Be intentional in what you say and what you do around the holidays. Create a plan, an A, B, C, and sometimes a C plan. Sometimes we need a backup to the backup. Seek support. If it's getting too much for you, you can't really fathom everything that's going on, maybe with the meetups, with the finances, or just with the blues, seek support. And for those of you who are struggling with addiction, I would definitely say marathon meetings. Meeting makers make it. 90 meetings in 90 days is what alcohol and drug counselors definitely recommend for those that are fresh in recovery, because it can be triggering. Lastly, mindfulness and meditation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So for me, I would say, please work on your boundaries. Say no. Again, support. If you can't handle it, please get support. It's available for you. So most times, if you ask, all you have to do is just open up your mouth and just ask for it. Practice self-care in all areas. Self-care, whatever your self-care is, whatever is, open, good for you. And prayer. I'm going to say prayer. Make sure you're taking time to, refocus spiritually so that doors will open for you, that you'll be able to understand why some things are going on, or just gain some peace.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Gaining peace. So this is what I would say, the takeaway would be loving yourself, putting yourself first. I love me. Say that to yourself in the morning. You look at yourself in the mirror every day. At least I hope you do. And if you're not, challenge yourself to begin to do that and affirm yourself. I love me. I'm going to have a good day today. If I have a bad day today, understand, as Rajanta said, your trigger. What was it? What was it that triggered me? Become aware. Become aware of how you feel about yourself, what emotions keep going up and down, and what you can't control. What you can't control is why you have professionals out there that you need to reach out to and say, maybe just something is just not working. If you feel like you're going through a state of depression, get help. If you feel like you want to isolate yourself, disassociate from everything you want to do, please seek some help. No one is beyond help, so you need to do that. Affirmations, as what Sanilla talked about earlier in the beginning of our show, please practice that. Affirming yourself. You can go online and Google and find these things. And the importance of having it just only take a couple of seconds. Your Zen, what is that? Meditating. Just find an area you can meditate in so you can process things throughout what happened to my day and how you can rest away from your day. So meditate using calming music or music you like, dance a little bit, take a walk. Those things is, what we highlighted on throughout the show. So continue to try to practice this as much as you can. Now, a couple of things before we walk away from this show today. Here, for if you're reaching out for a counselor, you can go to a couple of places: National Alliance on Mental Illness, Anxiety Depression Association of America. We have the CDC. There are several places. Just Google. We also told you about Psychology Today. Therapy for Black girls.
Yes.
There are so many different avenues that you could go to and platforms you can go to find the help you need. And we are specific and matter of fact about reaching out to the Black and Brown community. We're telling you, Go and find the help when you don't feel right. And the tools that we're giving you today, it's baby steps. Take a small step, challenge yourself, and say, I need help. That's all it is. And as Sanella said, ask for it and you will receive. If you don't ask for it, you will not receive. So I hope that we were able to give you some positive words today. So we are here and reaching the end of our show today. We thank you so much for joining us. And please, follow us on Facebook and also YouTube, and go to your favorite stream, and the show will be there for your listening desires. You will be able to go back as many times as you want. When you go to Facebook, we will put the information up there on how to get the need and the help that you need, as well as the tools we discussed today. But we thank you so much for joining us, and all about today, what is self-care and the holiday blues. So we hope that you got a better understanding of these two vital topics. And we thank you so much, and have a wonderful holiday. And we will see you again soon on the 10th. Thank you and have a good one.
Bye bye.